The 5 must-build characters in Honkai Star Rail that you should be building on your account before 3.0 launches. That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video, guys. Going over a lot of the free-to-play characters that are already in the game. These are the characters I believe will help your account out the most whenever 3.0 launches, to help your progression with the new metas coming to the game when that version launches. So, starting off at number 5, guys, I think Herta, not the Herta, is a great option to be building on your account. So to quickly explain them why you should be building her, guys. First of all, she hits every single enemy on the field. She's in your addition unit, right? Which is, first of all, really good. She's also going to be hitting every single enemy on the field, so that makes her really good for game modes like this new Apocalyptic Shadow we're in right now, right? I actually use Herta to beat this Apocalyptic Shadow right here with my Rappa. Why? Because this enemy gets his shield broken based off of the amount of instances you hit the enemy, and since she can hit every enemy on the field, and there's so many enemies that this guy has, you are going to be breaking that shield down more often. But that's just a good example of how she works in this Apocalyptic Shadow. Now, where she's not really working as well at right now, which is a major flaw, which we're going to talk about now, is if there are no ice weak enemies. Now, guys, the reason I say that is because this current Pure Fiction, which is normally where she works really well at, she doesn't have much of an option to like really play anywhere, because if we look at side 1 here, there's no ice weakness. If we look at side 2 here, there is no ice weakness, meaning she is not very viable for this particular Pure Fiction. But I do think that's going to change, since this whole Pure Fiction is kind of dot oriented. I do think the next Pure Fiction will help her out a lot in terms of what she's able to do. Hopefully we get some ice weak enemies there. So that's one major caveat. But the reason why I think that you should be building her and how it's going to set up for 3.0 is the Herta. Guys, we already know the Herta is going to be an ice type Erudition type character, and on top of that, we're also getting an ice type Remembrance character as well for the new path we're getting, right? So we have 2 ice characters coming into the game. She's also ice, so you can technically run her on a mono ice team. But on top of this, with getting the Herta, her being an emanator, I'm just going to speculate on what the Herta is able to do, right? Considering we have a character like Aqua on the game already, which plays off of having other Inhildi characters on the team. As mentioned, one of her major traces right here, having more Inhildi characters on the team means she does more damage. I can assume the same for the Herta as well. I assume that the Herta here is also going to be playing with Erudition characters, so having one free Erudition character right here being Herta is going to play really nicely into that. On top of that, guys, she's going to be able to hit follow-up attacks, so she can play in follow-up-esque teams, and she can pair up nicely with other DPS to kind of get that health down to the 50% margin where she's able to do that at. And just overall, a really good character you should be building, in my opinion. She works out for Apocalyptic Shadow, she works out for most of the Pure Fictions we have, and I think just all around a massive character you should be building for your account. Now, guys, on to number 4, which is going to be Hunt March 7th. You get her absolutely for free in the game as well, and you get all of her Eidolons for free as well. Why is the Hunt March 7th so good, though? First of all, guys, yes, she's imaginary, she's Hunt. She is going to be helping out your follow-up characters a lot, because she has her own follow-up attacks, first of all. She also has a lot of action as well, and what I mean by that is she can act multiple times. So, say your Fei Zhao goes, right? You put on her team with Fei Zhao does a follow-up attack, she does a follow-up attack. Fei Zhao does another follow-up attack, she does another follow-up attack. And that ball can keep rolling until she gets her turn back around. Another big thing with her, she can make her typing whatever the Shifu allied's typing is. So if we take a look at something like the skill right here, guys, you're going to be designated one target ally. They get a 10% speed buff. Not only are they getting a 10% speed buff, guys, she's getting an extra 20% to her attack. If you target someone that's harming Inhildi, Preservation, or Abundance, you're getting an extra 100% to her toughness reduction damage there. So that means she can also work and break teams as well. Talking about some of her major traces here, like I mentioned, she can correspond her weakness type to whatever the Shifu's combat type is. So if you put this on a Fei Zhao, then she can hit enemies that are the wind weakness, and then you can do it vice versa for ice, lightning, whatever the case may be. As your allies are acting and or attacking, she is going to be getting these points of charge whenever you hit 7 points of charge, and then you'll be hitting an enhanced basic attack, which just does a pretty good amount of damage, honestly. So if you're new coming to the game and you didn't have very much supports on your account, or like DPS/ supports on your account, I think she can play that role pretty nicely. She does play as a sub DPS, so she can support the rest of the team, give you SP, correspond to whatever type the rest of your allies have. She can work in break teams, so that means she can work with like Harmony MC, or she can maybe even work with Remembrance MC as well. She can work in so many different scenarios, so I do recommend 100% that you're going to be building up Hunt March 7th. Number 3 on our list, guys, Miss HIMEKO. Yeah! If you're playing this patch, guys, you actually do have the opportunity opportunity to choose one standard 5-star for completely free. And HIMEKO is one of those options, and HIMEKO is one of the best options. Now, I will say, if you're early game, mid game, I think probably Bronny is better, right? If you're just starting the game, I think Bronny is the better option. But if you're getting into that late game, that mid-late game, I think HIMEKO is the better option. Now, the reason why I say that HIMEKO is the better option, guys, is because HIMEKO can work in the same type of scenarios that Miss Madam Herta can work in, but for the fire typing, right? First of all, guys, you can run HIMEKO in Pure Fiction. Not only can you run her in Pure Fiction and have great results from it, you can also run her in game modes with like Apocalyptic Shadow as well, because this is so reliant on breaking the enemy shield. Her whole passive, and where the majority of her damage, I say, comes from, is her follow-up attack passive. You're going to have to be breaking the enemy shield anyway, so she works really good for this as well. Then finally, she also can work in Memory of Chaos. So she works in every single facet of the game that's currently in the game right now. Not going to say that she works the best in everything that you do, but the big plus side with her is that you don't necessarily have to use her as a main DPS. You can use her as a sub DPS to help out the damage that you're feeding, right? So you can use her in scenarios where maybe you're using a Rappa on your team, right? Maybe you're using a Firefly on your team, right? Firefly is inflicting that fire weakness on the enemy and also breaking enemy shield, which then gives HIMEKO the ability to follow up more because you're breaking more enemies down more often, meaning her follow-up attack is launching off more. It also allows for diversity of build as well. If you're using her on a break team, it doesn't really matter if you're running on a crit build or a break build. You can run her on either build and your damage is about the same. I would say if you have like a good crit build, you run a good crit build. If you have a good break build, run a good break build, right? She's a very multifaceted character that you can use multiple builds on her and get pretty good results all around the board there. But now let's talk about why she is going to be good for 3.0 and above. As we take a look at someone like Miss Foog here, right? What is Foog doing? Foog is allowing you to actually break the enemies more often, meaning HIMEKO's talent's able to be procced off more, and Foog also allows you to run more of a dual DPS team because, first of all, Foog is going to be enabling you to do super break damage, first of all. Secondly, she's going to allow you to attack any weakness type, which is a big plus to Rappa, and really any type of break DPS. If you have that versatility to break any weakness type and you don't have like a Firefly or a Boot Hole in your account, Foog is already future-proofing the break meta down the line, so this also is going to be helping out HIMEKO be a great sub DPS down the line as well, and this is an indirect buff to HIMEKO to make her better in break type scenarios. The more instances you can break means the more follow-up HIMEKO can do. The more follow-up HIMEKO can do, that means the more super break damage she can do as well in those break type teams. So that's why I think that HIMEKO is going to be a great option for you to go ahead and build on your account. And by the way, guys, if you've made it to this point in the video, please hit that subscribe button. We probably have build guides for most of these characters on the channel already, so make sure you go to the channel and check those videos out. If you remember, I'll try to put links to them in the description down below. The only one I haven't done a build guide on is Herta, and that video will be coming out, I don't want to say soon, but it will be coming out probably within the next month or so. So keep your eyes out for that and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Now, guys, let's go ahead and get into our last two must-build characters. Number 2, guys, Gallagher. Gallagher is an absolute fiend. Why should you build him, though? First of all, he keeps the team alive. He is one of the best sustains in the game. And I mean, if Pride Win, our Bible, tells us so, I mean, obviously he must be good, right, guys? He's always being ranked up here in tier 0.5 with Fu Xuan and Hua Hua, though I don't like the tier list rankings here. Go watch my video on the tier list if you want to know that. But he always ranks up here in top 0.5. And why does he rank up here in top 0.5, guys? Easy. He's able to, first of all, target one ally, give them a heal, and remove debuffs from that ally. Number 2, guys, he's also able to give effect resistance for your team as well when you start getting into those Eidolons. Number 3, he has a lot of hits per action whenever you're using his ultimate move. He's able to hit one enemy and do a basic attack after that, putting a debuff on each time you do that. This also makes him decently good for an Acheron team as well, with him being able to put multiple debuffs on the enemy. And then finally, the whole crux of his kit is helping you do more break damage. You're breaking down enemies even faster. He's like a mini Locha, guys. He basically heals you up. And the reason why I think that he is going to be a must build for 3.0 and onward is he's just a great 4-star sustain. He is by far the best 4-star sustain we have in the game to date, and he is still among one of the top sustains in the game. You cannot go wrong with a sustain. If you get this character, build him up immediately. He will help you clear any in-game content. He is still prevalent now, and I don't think I've ever had an issue of my team dying with him on the team, and I don't even have the best build on him, right, guys? So, guys, build him up. And finally, guys, for the finale, what is the number 1 character that you should be building Honkai Star Rail before 3.0 comes out? Your fucking Trailblazer, guys. Trailblazer, Harmony, Remembrance, you should build both of them up. The Harmony Trailblazer, first of all, will be giving you that super break damage. They are literally the only character in the game, as of recording this video before Foog comes out, that can give you super break damage. That means you have to use this character on any team that involves break. Like, you could cope out in the comment section and say, oh no, you don't have to build Harmony MC, you can just use them on their own. No, I have seen that cope, like, oh, they're still usable without super break. Stop coping, okay? Their damage falls off tremendously without super break, guys. So I do think this is already like a must build character Harmony MC, just because of the super break damage it's going to be giving to you. It unlocks a whole new way to play the game, essentially, in terms of damage output. So, first of all, very, very good here. Absolutely must build for break teams. But, Remembrance MC as well. We are getting a whole new path added to the game, which is Remembrance, guys. Now, I think we showed this a little bit earlier in the video, or you saw what we talked about with the Ice earlier, Ice Remembrance MC earlier. First of all, guys, they're going to have this little summon thing, right? Surely, I don't know what the name of it would be called yet, but what this is going to be doing is giving you a summon on the field, and what I think this is going to mean is if they're giving us a new Remembrance type, and if the last Trailblazer we got is anything to go off of, this guy, this girl, this character is going to be absolutely cracked out of their ass as well for the Remembrance path. So that means if you are leveling this character up and building them properly, and you have multiple different builds on them, and you're investing the resources into them, you're going to have one character that can be used in multiple different situations. Obviously, you're going to be investing your resources into each one of the said, like, paths you're running, right? But overall, you're putting the level up material into one character. This is the best character I could see you putting level up material into, and also building out, because say you don't want to use Remembrance, say you want to run just Super Break, you can do that. Say you want to run Remembrance, you can do that too. I think this, bar none, is the best character to run. It's already obviously setting up for 3.0 because they are Remembrance. Like, this is the new thing. This is the new meta we're going into, Remembrance. So, I will say, build your MC, build Harmony, build Remembrance when it comes out. Those are the best 5 characters that you could possibly be leveling up right now in Honkai Star Rail to set you up for 3.0. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you want build guides or more updated build guides on any of these characters, let me know in the comment section down below. I would really love to hear that. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Later. Bye-bye.